Okay, guys. What we're going to be learning today is how to write reusable Django apps. So, remember I told you guys why, I remember I told you that the whole essence of having several apps is that you can reuse those apps in other projects. So, I'll show you how to make your Django app reusable, and just like how you can, how you usually install packages from PyPy, like Django REST frame, all the other packages we've been using. So we're going to learn how to package our own and maybe install it too. Okay. So reusability is very important because it will help us to save time on work that is like work that we do again and again and make our code dry. So let me see. Okay. So first, does anybody remember what I said a package is? Like what if not, let me not say what I said a package is. What a package is. Why can't I see my screen? Are you guys hearing me at all? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, Karen, you're audible.
Okay, so does anybody remember what a package is? Let's start from there.
Okay, a package is how do I put it here? More like a module that can be imported into a Python script. Okay, in order to use a function or probably a statement from it.
I don't understand how you said that. So usually we can import modules now.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you saying a package is a module?
Well, probably I'm not using the right word here, but maybe not module, but something in that light here.
Okay, so true. If a package is a module, the only thing is that it can contain submodules or even sub packages. So basically that's it. So a Python package provides a way for you to group related Python code, so you can reuse it again. So you can reuse it. So usually a Python package will consist of several modules. Those modules are just Python code, like normal Python definitions. And so say we want to import a module that is inside of a package. What format do we use to import it? What's the format to import?
From from the package name, import whatever statement or function you want to import.
Okay, so let's say our application is a package. Our Django app is a package. So let's say in our case now, our Django app is blog, and you want to import a module inside of blog. You use the dot notation like blog dot. What are the files we usually have inside of our Python our Python app, our Django app? What files do we always have?
Models, your apps, the POI, your views, your URL.
Why your apps or POI?
What did you say?
I didn't hear everything you said.
You're actually the files that are always in our Django apps, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like
These
views, the view file, the URL file, our model files, our
so all of these, Yeah, all of this. So these are the files that we usually have: test, URL. Those are the default ones: apps, admin. Okay, so all of these ones are modules, are like default modules that Python will create for you when you create an app. So we would say that a Django application is a Python package that is intended for use in a Django project. So what we are going to do now is we're going to just create, we're going to okay, before we start creating anything self, let us first install certain things. There are certain things we need if we want to package our Python application. So the first one is we need to install setup tools. We're going to install setup tools to build our project. We're going to we already have pip. Yeah, we already have pip. Okay, so let's start with setup tools. Just what's this one? Let me just get into this. Oh, setup tools. Let me see. Okay, I already had setup tools installed before, but then make sure you install setup tools. That's like very important, and that is what is recommended for packaging and distributing your application. So that is what we're going to be using. So what we're going to do now is, let me share my code. This is a mess, but I'm going to share it anyway. Okay. Sorry, just give me a second. I want to share. Just delete all of this so we can use my screen. Just give me a second. Okay. So I'm inside of this folder here, and I want to create. First, I'm going to create a directory that is going to store our Django app. So we'll copy that Django app inside of this directory. That's our blog app into this directory, and then we're going to like package it here. So let me just create a folder. So let me tell you what you should do when you are creating a directory for like, okay, sorry. When you're creating a directory for packaging your Django app, it is important that you name it. Like, this is the normal naming convention. So you do Django dash the name of the app. Why this is good is because by the time you want to distribute your package, it's going to be easy for people who use Django to easily identify that, okay, this is a package for Django, for a Django project. So you should always use this naming convention when you are doing your thing. I mean, if you go to PyPy now and you want to download a package to be used like specifically for a Django project, you usually see Django this or Django that. So let's just call our own Django blog like this. So what we'll do now is that I'm just going to open another another window and copy this our blog application. The second, please. Where is it? Okay. So I'm just going to copy this blog into this. Okay. So I'm just going to copy this blog inside of this Django blog I created. So I'll open this place. So I'll open this in our, I'll open this file inside of our, what do you call it again? Our Visual Studio Code, and then we'll see what it looks like. So let me just share the Visual Studio Code so you can look at it. I think I put it inside learning and development. Okay. So this is just our blog. I hope you guys can see my screen.
Yes, we can. Yeah, we can.
Okay. So one thing you guys should do when you should take note of is when you are like labeling your application, try not to use anything that is going to conflict with Django's packages. Let me see what is inside of, so I can give an example. I'll show you example of. Okay, so if you check inside of our, if you check inside of your installed apps now, you see that there are some Django.contrib apps that are already there, like Django.contrib.admin, auth, content type, sessions, messages. You do not want to use any of these names for labeling your app, admin, messages, static files, all of those. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so now that we've moved our blog app inside of the parent directory, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a README file. So we'll close this up. We're going to create it inside of this parent directory. So just add this one and call it readme.rsc. Okay, it should be outside here. Out. All right. So inside of here, you want to give a long description of your application. So I'll show you how. I'll show you an example of what that looks like. So here you can just say blog, just call it just call it a Django app. For creating let's say creating and editing, let's say posts like this. And then usually if you want a much more detailed or should I say much more detailed documentation of how this application works and what maybe the user should expect or should do in order to get this code working, then it is usually recommended for you to create a docs file. So that docs file is what is going to contain a proper documentation of everything related to this blog. But this is just like a readme, just okay, what this particular application does and how to get started. So I'll show you what is on what Django has. Give me a second, let me just show you what Django has. Okay, so this is what Django has on their site. And okay, and if you can see, this just shows a simple description of of the what do you call it, of the application. Then they said detailed documentation is in the docs directory. So you can have a directory or a file to describe in detail what your application does. And then it has this quick start part, how you can just easily like install the application if you are going to be installing it from wherever. Say you are using pip to install and all of that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to clear all of this. And then we're going to use this quick start because this is like a very simple quick start, right? And then we'll just edit it. So this will just be the name of our application and simple directive on how to use this thing, how to use your application. Okay. Okay, something like this. So what you're just saying is when you install the application, add blocks to your installed apps, then include the blog URL configuration inside of the URL file, just like this. This is how we, when we wanted to separate URL configurations for our blog app, this is how we did it inside of the root URL. So I think this gives you an idea of why we have this kind of syntax. That way you can easily just plug and play applications like that. Just remove it and put it anywhere in any project you want to. So yeah. Okay, and then migrate files, migrate the models, then start the server. And then this is like the URL to the application. So this is like a very simple thing, but if there's something else you want to, maybe there's something else you need to do, you can always add it inside of here. But then this is very simple and we can just make do with this. So the next thing we do is we're going to create a license file. So it is very important to create a license file because if you are creating a package that you want the public to use it is if you do not have a license, it's more or less useless because people will not know how to use that particular package. Can they just like reuse it, fork the project and modify it and do with it whatever they want to do? Or do you not want them to use it that way? So there are several licenses that you can make use of. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you. Where's this? Okay. Just give me a second. I'm just going to show you. So basically, license is just to say, okay, these are the terms under which my package can be used. That's what it is about. So let me show you guys this package. Sorry, I said this package. This site. So this site it's a site that can help you you can just copy certain licenses. So this one is MIT license. It's saying your work can be used by anyone. So it says, if you look here, it will tell you that permission is granted free of charge to anybody obtaining this copy of software, and so they can use it any way they like. They can copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute, and do whatever they want to do with it. But then there are still other licenses like, oops, let me go back. So there are still like other licenses depending on what you want to do. But then I think this one is a simple one. We do not it allows people to do whatever they want to do, and let's just use this license. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. We're going to create a license file now. And we're going to copy that license and put inside of there. So where's my still inside of the Django block? We'll just create license and I'm going to copy that MIT license. Okay. And I'm going to put it inside of here. All right. So just put in your name, the year and your full name. Okay, so these are our terms. And I can close this up now. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to drop the link to that choose a license thing site I showed you just now in the Slack channel. So you guys can like always go back and look at it again. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a config file. We're going to create a config file and we're going to create a setup.py file. So the setup config is just telling us, it's just providing metadata related to our metadata about our app. So let me quickly just okay. I'll stay here. I'm trying to see, I want to show you guys what the config data consists of. So this is, remember we installed setup tools. So this is the config file that is like required for you to like make use of setup tools. So the setup.cfg is the configuration file for setup tools. It's basically just saying like giving details about your application. So these are these are the data, I mean, I said the data, these are the information you provide, like name, version, author, email, description, long description. In this case now, long description is inside of a file called readme. So we already have like a long description in a file called readme.rst. So instead of readme.mba, now we're going to put our own readme file here and say, okay, just go check inside of that file. I mean, that's where the long description is. Then the URL to the project, classifiers, and all of that. And then dependencies, software dependencies. So if your application needs requires a particular version of Python, you will need to specify, okay, use Python 3.8 or 7 or something like that. Or if it requires from a particular version of what, then you need to specify. I think you can specify here in this Python requires here. Okay, so these are this is a complete a complete explanation of all of the attributes that you need to define inside of the config file and what they are used for. I think I explained some of them already. All right, so this is this, and I'm also going to drop the link so you guys can still go through it again if you need to. Okay, so now we are going to create our own setup.config. All right, I think I'll just use this guy's on, and I use this guy's on, then I'll edit it. Or I can use Python. So I think I just want metadata and options. Okay, let me use Django's one. So we'll just edit it. I called it setup.config. Okay. Yeah. So something like this. We'll just update our name, update our own details. Okay. So so where did we host our this thing again? Let me just just copy where we hosted our application, and this should do. Yeah, then your name. Okay, so we are not using a BSD3. We're using this. Let me check our. Do we even need that one? I don't think we. Let me see. I want to check if we need to add that license. Okay, we don't need to add this here. So let me just remove this. Then environment, this. We're using Django 3.2, so let's just have it here. Blah, blah, blah. We're not using BSD license, we're using MIT license. And then I think this is okay. This one. Don't need this. I'll just leave this like this. And then let's just put this for the sake. Okay, so something like this. This is just like metadata regarding our project, for our app, I mean. Okay, and then what else we need to do is we need to create a setup.py file. This is what it's just going to contain from setup to import setup, and when this runs, it's going to like check inside of this configuration and do its thing. Okay. So what else do we need again? We need a manifest file. So if we want to include all of these files that we just added, we'll need to add that manifest. We'll need to add the manifest file. So that is because it's only Python packages only Python packages and modules that are included in the application, or should I say package, since we're like packaging it. So it's only Python modules that are included inside of the package. So if you want to include all of these things we just added, our license, our README, we need to include it inside of a manifest.in file. So I'm just going to copy this and create that manifest.in file. Okay. So we're going to just say, let's include all of those files. License, README, and then we're also going to include our templates and our static files. So we tell it to, because they are directories and they contain several files, so you tell it to do a recursive include, so it's to like include each and every file inside of the static and template folder. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Like this. Okay. So once we've done all of these steps, just close this up. We can now what do you call it? We can now package our application. Do you guys have any questions so far?
Yeah. Well, okay, just please kindly share the resources is there any comprehensive resource we can actually read through to really understand all that you're teaching us like right now? If there is, please kindly share. That's all.
Okay, I've already like added all of that. I've added it to your what do you call it? To your Slack channel already.
Thank you.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to tell Python to package this file. So we're just going to say Python 3 setup .py s like this. So we're going to run this. We're going to run this inside of our directory, and then you see that there is a there's a dist directory inside of here, and inside of there you can see your package. It will put it inside of this. It will put it in this form. What do you call it? It will put it in this form, in this format. So it will just package everything and put it in this format. Let me see. Talking about packaging and packaging and distributing. Let me see if I share that. Okay, packaging and distributing projects. I'm just going to share this. Okay, so like that contains, step-by-step instructions for if you want to publish your package. And so now, like this, you can decide to, you can share your package however you want to. You can, you can use it you can share it with other people to use it in their projects, and what else? With the other guide, you can also like publish it if you want to. Okay, so now that we have our application here, we have our application package like this. We can decide to put it inside of our own. Use it inside of our own project. So I'm going to share the other projects folder. Let me just open it again. I'll open a new folder. To our former application. Okay, this. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just delete this we'll delete our block that is inside of here and try to, did I move it? I think I moved it because blog is not here anymore. Okay, so since we don't have our blog here, we'll need to what we're going to do is we're going to install our application, and we're going to install it here and then try to run it the way we planned to run it. So I'll just follow the guidelines all over again, like all of the guidelines in the README, and so that should be done. Okay. So let me activate the virtual environment. Okay. And then we're just going to, I'm going to copy the location of this package, the package that we created. I'm going to copy its path and install it. And I'll just say pip3 install. Then I'll put in the path. So this is like the path of, this is the path of the package. Okay, so there's no such file directory. Just look at it again. I'll just take a look at the name again. Or I can just copy it again from the Finder. You just copy the file name. So let me just copy the entire path again.
Sorry, Karen, are you trying to install that app here again? Yeah.
Yes. So like we moved it here before.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you want to install it in someone else's project, that's like direct.
All right.
Okay, but then I think I'm not getting the location. Let me just copy it into this. Let me just copy it somewhere around here. I'll copy the packaged one. Okay. So you can just be here. Now let me see. All right. So I think I'll just put it here, and since it's not like in a repository somewhere, or like we didn't publish it, so we can't just say pip install the package name. Okay. Okay, so that installs it. And I think if you check inside of your virtual environment, you should see it. That's where it should be installed. Okay. So I can't see it here though. Django blog should be just Django blog. Okay, but then let's see if it is, let's see if it's, I'll just reload this again from I'll reload this and then I'll add it inside of, then I'll add the application here. To see if like it works. Then inside of our URLs, okay. These are the directives we set, so I'll just check if that runs. Okay, sorry. Okay, so let's see. Maybe Django says with good luck. Okay, I think this works, Sha. So I think it's installed it. But then I was not expecting, I was thinking it was going to be inside of these site package files with the name I gave it. This Django admin. Okay, so maybe it's not, but then it should be inside of these site package files. I can't see it. Okay, but then that's how it works. But if you want to like remove it, you just uninstall it with, you just uninstall it like you uninstall a regular what do you call it, a regular Python package. So I'll just do pip3 uninstall Django block, and then it will just uninstall everything. So it is inside of site packages /blog. Let me check it. /blog, but I can't see /blog here. /Django blog 0.1. But then I can't see it inside of here. Okay. But then that's that. That's how it works. That's how you package a file, install and stuff. So I don't know if you guys have questions. And then if you guys like have, if you think through what people might want to, what things people like, stuff people use and they might not want to, they might not want to like code again and again in their projects, or even you, like if you use a particular feature or so that you do not want to write again and again and again, you can just do this and reuse it in your app, make certain modifications, and you're fine. Do you guys have questions?
Well, this is super cool, yeah, but no questions. So you'll probably go back to review, I guess.
Okay.
Eclectic.
I don't know if Peter is still in the class. I was asking if he has questions. Peter, Yomi.
No, I don't have questions.
Okay. So you guys can play around with it. And it's not play around with it, and then maybe if you check inside of that document I sent you, you see like what do you call it? You see like how to, not just how to package, but I think there's still like another tutorial on how to distribute your package. Okay. So I want to know if this is, just give me a second, please. I'm trying to see if there's something else I want to talk to you guys about this topic or.
Okay.
That can
Yeah.
be incorporated.
You're sounding like this is going to be our last class.
That can be
Your last
incorporated.
class.
That's how you're sounding, you.
No, this one.
Okay.
There are still some other things that, although like those are things that you can learn on your own, but even this, you can learn this on your own, but but then I'll just like not necessarily guide you through it, but just give you certain tips that can help you. So we are going to still talk about like handling migrations, because migrations can be messy if you're not careful. You can just mess up when I first started, I did a lot of good. I made a lot of mistakes with migrations. Then if you are going to also be like, but not like it's, I don't really recommend if you are going to be using, when you're developing, for example, say you're using a particular database. So like, I don't know if I should say what I should say, but sometimes you can just like, you might be trying to make certain changes, and you just go on the internet and you just see some solutions that, you think you found the solution, but when you now implement it, everything will just clear. And if you try those kind of things in production environment, you can lose data. So those are just little tips I can give you guys. The rest of them is going to be like need to learn while you're working on maybe a particular project.
What about the API documentation? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too, but
And token authentication for APIs. Are there plans to show us that?
so yeah, I think I'm not going to teach you how to use token authentication. I'm not going to teach you how to use token authentication, because that's not the only form, but those are like things that are dependent on certain projects. It's not like you might use on every project you build. So these are like just the the stuff that I mean in almost all your projects you will likely be using. Like the things we've learned so far are things that you likely use in almost any project you build. But the other ones that are just for setting, I mean, and also for you to understand how Django works, because we're learning about the framework. So you would like to know how Django handles certain things. So that's like the whole idea. But then things that you'll be using for maybe specific projects, I believe you can learn those yourself. It's not a matter of how, I mean, that was how I learned it, or I mean, so you guys have to go and learn it yourself, but you might not use it every time. And I think you can, from here, you can learn other things you want to learn. Like you don't ask me to teach you polymorphism in database.
So you just indirectly said we are on Oyo, right? We are on our own on the matter.
They generally on their own.
What did you say?
I said developers are generally on their own.
Beg, no beginners like us, I beg.
What did you say? But I mean, that's like
no beginners like us. So I beg, we shouldn't be on our own. We need that mentorship. We need that guidance. At least we can stand on our own.
Yeah, and you also need to work on certain projects. So I really don't want to squeeze in something else into this class because I think I have it all planned for next week. And I don't think I can start and just like stop somewhere in the middle. So basically what we're going to be now on, like what we're going to be looking at from now on is just tips that are going to help you how to manage your settings, files, all those kind of things. They may look like very, very simple things, but they are things that if you know how to do them, they just save you stress and make life very, very easy for you. And it's sort of like going round and round. You just like know what to do. Especially if you're now like working with a team or something like that. And then if you have something that you like, something in particular you want us to revisit, or not token also what do you call it? There's something else. I'm trying to say. But then any other thing, just general topics that will help you. I mean, if you have that, then I can just put it inside of, just slip it in. How did they even used to say it safe? I'll just add it in any of our classes. But then if not, we'll just stick to what we're learning. And besides, for there's a library you can use. There's a Python library you can use for JWC to own. There's one that DRF recommends. I don't know. I think they even have. I think they even have token authentication. So they have this auth token library that they use for token authentication. And then I sent you guys the API guides just in case you want to read more about what is involved in what they call them, their views, like what's like there are times when you want to know exactly how the structure of a particular class, or you want to know exactly how a particular feature works. like how their responses, routers, all those serialization, those are serializers, permissions, and all of that, pagination. So I think the API guide is just something you might not have, you don't have to like go through everything. I mean, you might not use all of them. So just look through whatever you want to use and just use it. So that's how it is. Besides, for token auth, there are times when, what if you want to use GraphQL? You will not be using the same thing I taught you now. You will have to use something else, maybe like GraphQL JWT or something like that.
Okay. How about testing?
Yeah, testing too.
Okay, like you're applying the head for us, yeah?
Yeah, I have plans for that.
Okay, then
Some of you that will still write tests by the time you learn how to. Some of you will still write tests in your applications. You just say, well, let's test it. When we are doing it, we'll do it to test. And if it fails, we'll know where to go and fix the problem. Most of you don't write tests now. You just learn it and keep it at the side of your pocket.
Okay. Right now, no other shop.
Yeah, but then we'll still learn it because it's still like basic. And I mean, at the end of the day, you would have learned at least 5 to 7% of everything inside of Django. Most of which you use. The rest of them situational and this thing. But then most of them you use them, so you still have to like go back inside of Django's. You have to go back inside of Django's. No, you're not writing tests today. You will learn how to write tests next week. I don't know if it's next week, but it might be next week. The rest of them you should look at Django's documentation. Like, it's very important so that everything is not going to be Google. They'll just show you different things. Like some of them are not correct. And you just be confused. Okay.
That's some of them Django side are not correct.
What did you say?
You were saying something is not correct. You said some things are not correct, yeah?
Like, you will not always find the solution to what you are looking for, especially if you don't know how especially if you don't know how certain things work. So you might just be using someone else's, maybe somebody says, okay, I have this situation and they're providing a solution that maybe is not even for your own, but then it's similar. You just, okay, let me just try it out, and then just copy it and paste it inside of your code. And then you just be like stuck. But then if you look at their documentation, like if you have issues, the first place you should go to is Django documentation. And I mean, if you see how they are, and this thing, maybe you're passing in the wrong type of argument or something. Like, that's the first place you should go to. Or even if you are using any library at all, the first place you should go to is their documentation. Django is like very, very articulate. So even if you don't understand everything they are saying, if you don't understand everything, you can still like look at other people's tutorials or articles. Maybe they can maybe simplify the matter. Okay. Samuel, do you have something to add?
From my end, no. However, I would want to engage with the learners concerning collaborating on their projects. So I think we would need to meet sometime before, let's say, Monday. So we really get to look at what we're looking out for concerning collaboration and working together. Yeah, basically that's it.
Okay. So Okay, do you have something to tell us?
No, nothing from me. Nothing.
Okay. All right, guys. Um, I'll drop your. I don't want to say it, but I'll have to say it. I think I'll drop your assignments now. So that is your. You have like a week and some days to work on it.
Assignment.
Yes, now you guys want to remain in level 7 or stage 7
Is it group or individual?
group. You guys should learn how to work with yourselves.
Sorry. All right, now. No, let's go and sit on Slack then.
Okay, so yeah, this is where I'll come in. Okay, so
Someone.
Mendy, Peter, Sikak. Have I seen you before in school? Well, okay. So yeah, just like she said, it's going to be a group project, and then you have, I think, like a week to work on it. So and then there's going to be a deadline. So the two requirements for you to get to stage 8, and take note of the word and. Okay, you are programmers. So two requirements for you to get stage 8 and participate in the final project phase is that you submit on or before the deadline and you score at least an 85 as your grade. Getting an 85 as your grade. All the while it has been 75, but for the final project, it's now 85. So submit on or before the deadline, score 85 and above, then you will be part of the project phase. Okay. Yeah, so that's just to add to what she said. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, thank you guys. See you when I see you.